Welcome to Mrs. Hall's Art Room and welcome back to Virtual Art. It's hard to believe it's been 1 year since my last art video, and here we go again, getting ready to start virtual art this week. It's been 7 weeks since I've been at school face-to-face teaching art with you since I had my surgery on my foot. I had a beautiful blue cast on my foot for 6 weeks. That has now been removed and I'm wearing a boot. The goal is that I will be back at school face-to-face with all of you at the end of this week. And let me tell you how excited I am to be back with all of you and back in the art room. Today we're going to learn about an artist named Chris Uphughes. He's a pop artist and he is very famous for making hearts with cartoon faces. The art supplies that you're going to need today will be art supplies of your choice. You can obviously use a black Sharpie to do the drawing, my favorite art supply. You can use a combination of any kind of marker of your choice, or if you would like to use crayons, you can use crayons. I would just find a piece of white Xerox paper to draw on. So go ahead and gather up your art supplies and we'll get started making a Chris Uphughes original. All right, now that you've gathered up your copy paper and your art supplies, it's time for us to get started. Here is a picture of Chris Uphughes. He's standing in front of one of his murals. You can see all the happy faces on his hearts. If you look at the colors, you'll notice all the bright and vibrant colors, all the rainbow colors, all the smiles. Here is a picture of an up-close picture of Chris actually painting a smile on one of his hearts. Here is a picture of Chris Uphughes, one of his murals. You can see in the background he has some rainbows right here. He has some bugs. He likes to put flowers and bugs in his artwork. Start off with how to draw a heart. So I took my white piece of paper and I folded it into 4 sections just for you to see how you can draw a heart and how you can start practicing. You might want to practice a heart before you actually get started on your art project. To make a heart, you could put a dot on the top and a dot right below it. And then when you make a heart, you will notice that if I go up and around like that, if I were to draw one more line like that, which clearly I'm not going to do for a heart, but what number does that look like? You're right, that looks like a number 2. So if I make 2 dots and I go up like this and I start making a number 2, of course I don't draw this line right here, and then I do the same thing on this side backwards, like a backwards number 2, I could have a heart. I would expect all 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders to be able to make a heart like that. Kindergarten and 1st grade, that might be a little bit tricky for you. You might want to make a heart by starting with a letter M like that, or 2 rainbows connected, and then make a line like that and a line down like that. Or sometimes when we're first learning to make a heart, we can make a letter V and then make that rainbow shape on top. All right, now that you know how to make a heart, you might want to practice a couple times and then get ready for your art project. Now I'm ready to start making my heart project. I'm going to take my black Sharpie and I'm going to draw hearts all over my white piece of copy paper. Another thing that you could do, 4th and 5th graders, maybe you would want to take a scrap piece of paper, fold it in half, draw half of a heart on a scrap piece of paper, take a pair of scissors and cut it out and make yourself a stencil. A heart is an example of a symmetrical object. It's the same on both sides. If you don't like the shape of the heart that you made, simply fold it back in half again and then cut it out again and make it a different shape. You could take your heart stencil and you can trace it on your white piece of paper if you want all of your hearts to be perfect. 5th graders, that might be a technique you would be interested in doing. I'm going to continue to draw hearts and fill up my white piece of paper. It doesn't really matter how many hearts you have. Your hearts could all be next to each other, or if you want some hearts to be overlapping, you could draw some hearts overlapping. Overlapping means one heart is on top of the other, but I would not draw that line right there. After you draw your hearts, then you're ready to draw faces. Here's an example of some cartoon faces that you can use for a reference for your hearts. Feel free to pause this video and look at these cartoon faces when you're drawing your hearts, or you can use your imagination and draw whatever kind of faces you want on your hearts. I like to start with the eyes first. I like to make nice big eyes, then the pupils. You can have your eyes looking down. You can draw your eyes with the pupils looking to the side. You can draw a silly face with one eye up and one eye down. You decide how you want to make the eyes. The eyes could be touching. You could have eyelids. I'm going to finish drawing all of the eyes on my hearts. After I draw the eyes on my hearts, then I'm going to draw the nose and I'm going to draw the mouth. You can add eyelashes and you can add eyebrows if you would like to. I'm going to add some eyelashes. I'm going to add some eyebrows. I'm going to add a mouth. I'm going to have my mouth open and I'm going to add some teeth. You decide if you want to add teeth, if you want to add a tongue, if you want a circle for the nose, if you want no nose. I'm going to add a tongue on this one. I like cheeks, eyebrows, eyelashes on the top, a big, huge mouth, a small mouth. All right, give me a minute and let me finish drawing all of my faces. All right, after you draw all of your faces, then you decide what you want to do in the background. Do you want to add some rainbows? Do you want to add some flowers? Do you want to add some bugs? What kind of design do you want to add in your background, or do you want to just leave it plain? Everybody at school knows that my favorite design is polka dots, so I'm just going to add some polka dots in the background of this one. Lots and lots of polka dots. Or I could add little hearts in the background. Don't forget to put your name in the corner. After you write your name in the corner, put your teacher's initial, because remember, I'm going to ask you to turn these in at school when we all get back so I can see what art you did at home with your family. Write your name nice and small in a corner. If you want to use a pencil first to draw all of this, you could, but it'll be a lot faster just to go ahead and find a Sharpie and use a Sharpie. After I've drawn everything, I'm going to take some markers and I'm going to color everything in. You choose if you want to color it in with markers, or if you have crayons at home, maybe you want to watercolor paint yours. You can color it in however you would want, but make sure you take your time, outline, stay inside of your spaces, don't scribble. We talk about the different levels of our artwork. Level 1 is when we scribble and we don't take our time and our artwork doesn't look neat. Number 2 is when we're doing a better job coloring, but we can still see a lot of white paper through. Level number 3, we've got all of our white spaces covered up. We're staying inside of the lines. But number 4 is amazing artwork where you're coloring really, really dark Can't see any white paper. Your hand hurts from pressing hard with a crayon. You all know what level 4 art feels like. Take your time and color it in. All right, give me a few minutes to color everything in. Please remember to turn in your art projects. Bring them back to school and bring them to me in the art room. You can't stop love. Keep creating. I hope that you had fun making Chris Uphew's heart project today. Please bring your art projects to school so that you can turn them in and I can see all of your art creations. Here are a couple of my pictures. I put rainbows in the background of this one. And here is another one that is full of a lot of hearts, overlapping hearts. Please bring yours to school. Make sure your name is on it. Make sure your teacher's initial is on it. 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, please plan on putting your art projects that you made at home in your art journals. I'll see you all at school soon. Bye.